Hey friends, I'm back again for content, okay? So let me bring up the screen really quick. There it is. And I would like you, as always, to take aim to your target. I can listen carefully to another idea. So you're gonna listen to my ideas and ask questions when I do not understand something. And I can write a focus statement that describes how animals depend on trees for food. Please let your arrows go. Okay, so here we go. So we talked about nouns. Nouns is a person, a place, or a thing. We talked a lot about those. We talked about adjectives. We talked about how they describe something. And now we're going to talk about what's called a verb. So I want you guys all to say that word for me. It's a silly word, but I want you to say verbs. Verbs, verbs, verbs. So Vicky the verb. We are going to focus on what verbs are. And I'm going to point to these pictures, and verbs mean you're doing something. So it says, look at this, an action word, okay? So when you are doing something, when you're acting or active, it is called a verb, okay? So I'm going to point to the picture, and I'm going to tell you what each picture is that the person is doing, okay? So right now, if I want to say and describe a verb that I'm doing right now is I'm talking and I'm moving my hands and I'm waving to KO1. So those are all actions. Talking, waving, moving, those are all actions, okay? So here, let's point to this one. The first one is Vicky is getting up. So the action there is getting. She's getting up, okay? Let's go over here. Oh, Vicky is, I can't even tell what Vicky's doing in that picture. Vicky is washing her face. So she's washing. That's the action of washing, okay? Remember, it's an action verb, or an action word, sorry. Right here, she is eating breakfast. So she's doing something. She's eating. Down here, my little friend is bouncing the ball. Okay, so these are all actions, all things that people are doing. Oh, this one right here, she is jumping. She's jumping up and down. And my friend right here is walking. Okay. Oh, this friend over here is reading. She's reading. She's doing the action of reading. Oh, I like this. My friend over here is painting. She's painting a picture. And lastly, my friend is sleeping, okay? So notice, actually, I want to tell you something. All of verbs, all of those action words end in the sound ing. So getting up, washing her face, eating breakfast. See how there's all the ings at the end? Bouncing, jumping, walking, reading, painting, and sleeping. They all end in the ing sound. They all end the ing sound, okay? So now I'm gonna do some silly actions, and I want you, even though you're at your house and you can't see me, I want you to call out what I'm doing. Ready? I'm gonna do some actions for you. Ready? What am I doing? I'm patting my head. Okay, that's the first one. How about this one? What am I doing now? What verb am I doing? I'm waving my hands. Okay, how about this one? I'm bouncing my body. I look crazy, but I'm bouncing my body. Oh, how about this one? I am drinking my coffee. Okay, so see that? I want you guys to do some silly things right now that are some verbs. So you can bounce, you can be bouncing, you can be waving, you can be patting, you could be jumping. I'm not going to get up and jump because that's too much for me right now. But those are some action words, okay? Here we go. Here's our song. We depend on trees. We depend on trees. We eat fruits, nuts, and chocolates. We depend on trees. Caterpillars depend on trees. Caterpillars depend on trees. They munch on leaves just as they please. Caterpillars depend on trees. Deer depend on trees. Deer depend on trees. They feed on bark in day or dark. Deer depend on trees. Squirrels depend on trees. Squirrels depend on trees. They scarf down seeds and nuts with ease. Squirrels depend on trees. Birds depend on trees. Birds depend on trees. They fly in line to eat and dine. Birds depend on trees. I'm gonna sing it again. I really like the song because I do. It's so catchy. I'm gonna sing it again. We depend on trees. We depend on trees. We eat fruits, nuts, and chocolates. We depend on trees. Caterpillars depend on trees. Caterpillars depend on trees. They munch on leaves just as they please. Caterpillars depend on trees. Deer depend on trees. Deer depend on trees. They feed on bark in day or dark. Deer depend on trees. Squirrels depend on trees. Squirrels depend on trees. They scarf down seeds and nuts with ease. Squirrels depend on trees. Birds depend on trees. Birds depend on trees. They fly in line to eat and dine. Birds depend on trees. So there's our song. Now, let's get into it. Oh, wait, quickly. Yesterday, Miss Ewan made a chart. I don't know if you guys can still see it over there by my window. And we made a chart and we talked about all the animals that the book, Be a Friend to Trees, talked about, okay? So we had a koala, he ate leaves from a tree. We had a bird, he ate the seeds of a tree. We had a caterpillar, he ate the leaves of a tree. The bee ate or drank the nectar from the flower of a tree. And I think I have the squirrel there. A squirrel, he eats the nuts from a tree. So we made that chart. And remember, I told you there were way more animals that we talked about from our book, Be a Friend to Trees. And I had you guys pick 3 animals that you wanted to write about yesterday. And honestly, I didn't see very many friends send me pictures of this assignment. So it needs to be done because you have to write your focus statement today. So please, please, please send this to me. Okay. So we are going to actually get into the business of writing. So take aim. I can. Actually, we can't do this. We can't do back-to-back, face-to-face. We can't get together in partnerships today. Silly Miss Ewan. Okay, let's skip that part. All right, so we're gonna watch a video. I'm gonna have a clip right here of an animal eating food from a tree, okay? And after we watch it, I want you guys to think in your little noggins, your beautiful little brains, what you saw, okay? So let's just click this. Hopefully it works. And it'll switch to the screen. Oh, this is cool. Even though I picked this video, it's cool. You know what? That animal is Ellie's favorite animal, the giraffe. I wonder what he's doing there. That's really cool. So he's looking down. That's beautiful. And it's nice and quiet for him. Okay, so as you guys are watching this, I want you to notice lots of things. I want you to notice that there is a bird sitting on top of the giraffe. Notice that right there. He was just chilling on top of the giraffe. Oh, there's another one right on the side of the giraffe, just hanging out there. I guess he, likes to have a big view or a high view up there. And notice how the giraffe doesn't care. The giraffe does not care that there is birds just sitting on him, okay? And then Mr. Giraffe right here, he's eating all the leaves on the trees, all right? And the birds seem to be flying up to the trees and back down to the giraffe. So they're getting their leaves too that they want from a tree, okay? Back to our slides. So as you watch that video, I want you to think about what you saw. You saw 2 animals depending on a tree right there. You saw 2 animals that were eating the leaves. So that was really cool to see. Hope you guys can get to the zoo soon to see this. All right, here we go. Now you can take aim. I can write a focus statement that describes how animals depend on trees for food. Let your arrows go. Okay, my loves. Now, you know what's so silly? So the books that you sent home with you are these books, right? These are your module 3 and 4 work booklets. Now, Miss Ewan thought that this page was in the workbooks, but it's not, because why would it be? So we are going to actually do something similar to what we did with people depending on trees. Okay, remember, we depended on trees. You guys made your booklets. You wrote a focus statement. You wrote detail sentences. Now you're going to do the same thing for how animals use trees for food. Okay, remember, what does a focus statement tell us? It tells us the big idea. Okay, remember, you're not writing a detail, you're writing the big idea. Okay, so here we go. I just want to look at this fast. I'm going to get a piece of paper and I'm going to show you how I want you guys to do this. All right, because this is going to be your EL content assignment for the day, for Friday, April, what are we on? 3rd. Okay, so let me get you. Okay, here we go. So on my piece of paper, I am going to have, just like before, a box. And on top, I want you guys, I want your mommies, or even if you can do it, that would be great. I want you to write focus statement on top, just like this, okay? You're gonna have a box, and then below, you are going to have a few lines to write your focus statement. Now, remember, your focus statement is the major picture of your booklet. And what are we writing about, friends? Are we writing about the sun? No. Are we writing about just the koala? No. Are we writing about just a porcupine? No. What are we writing about? Oh, I know. We're writing about all the animals, or a few of the animals, that depend on a tree for food. Look at that. Okay. So remember yesterday, Miss Ewan picked her 3 animals. Okay? And I'm going to show you. I picked the koala, and he eats the leaves. I picked the squirrel. He eats the nuts. And I picked the caterpillar. He eats the leaves. Okay? So that's my chart from yesterday. And remember, you guys had to make it 3 sections, or 3 different spots for you to draw your picture of your animal that you were picking, and you had to write what they, or draw what they eat from a tree and write what they eat from a tree. Now today you're going to turn those notes that you wrote yesterday into a focus statement, okay? So your focus statement is the big idea. We're not writing about one animal. We're not writing about the sunshine. So my focus statement is going to say many, how do I spell animals? That's really hard to sound out. So I'm going to say animals get, I hope you know how to spell get, tap it out, remember. Get food from trees. That's a beautiful focus statement. Okay, so you can write something similar to that. Remember, do not copy Miss Ewan. My focus statement says, many animals get food from trees. Wow, many animals get food from trees. So guess what I'm gonna draw in my picture? I'm gonna use my notes right here. I'm gonna use the notes that I did yesterday, and I'm gonna draw all 3 animals that I want to talk about in my booklet. So I'm going to draw my koala over here, hanging out, looking at the tree. Yep, Mr. Koala's hanging out on the tree. And he eats the leaves, so I'm going to put some leaves near him. And then I'm going to draw Mr. Squirrel. I'm going to put Mr. Squirrel down here. He's got a long tail. And he's got a cute little face. You know, Miss Ewan likes squirrels. Don't ask me why. It's a squirrel, and he eats I gotta draw the acorns or the nuts. He eats the acorns or the nuts. And then I drew a caterpillar. So guess what? I could draw a tree over here. And on the leaf of the tree, I can draw the caterpillar hanging out, eating a leaf. Okay? So my focus statement doesn't talk about one animal I want to write about. It doesn't talk about two animals I want to write about. It doesn't talk about three animals. It talks about all of them together. And when we're talking about many things or a group of things, we're going to say many or a lot of or all together or these animals. Okay, so we're going to use those big words to talk about all of these animals. Okay, so that's what you're going to do today for your content assignment. You're going to take a white piece of paper. Hopefully you guys have one at home. If not, you could do this in your notebooks. Make a big box. I want you to draw a picture of all three animals that you're going to write about and what they eat from a tree or what they need from a tree. And then you're going to write your focus statement on the lines. And my focus statement, remember, focus statements are the main idea or the big picture of what you're writing about. So my focus statement says many animals get food from trees. Okay, so that is going to be your content assignment for the day. And I will see and talk to you in a little while. Bye, guys.